Morning students, come to our lesson biological science. Okay, now we are going to discuss about different vaccines are discovered by the scientists. Okay, other harmful effects of microorganisms. The microorganisms which causes diseases are called pathogens. What are those? Pathogens. Microorganisms which causes diseases are called pathogens, and studying about the diseases is called pathology. Pathology is a science. Okay, na? The disease causing microorganisms are called pathogens, and studying about the diseases is called pathology. So, the pathogens, disease causing microorganisms are pathogens. The pathogens enter into our body through the air which we breathe, through the water which we drink, and the food through what we eat. And sometimes these diseases may spread from or affected from the affected people. So generally, whenever the season changes, some of your classmates or your family members affected by the cough and cold. When these cough and cold people are sneezes or coughs, these disease-causing microorganisms, pathogens, entered into the air. When we inhale the air, we are also affected by that particular diseases. So, this type of diseases which is spread by the physical contact or from one organism to another organism is called communicable diseases. What are those? So the diseases which spread from a affected person to the normal person is called communicable diseases. Okay, next, what are the communicable diseases? Common cold, conjunctivitis, typhoid, tuberculosis, chickenpox, smallpox. Okay, this type of diseases. These are our communicable diseases. Here we have to notice that or identify that some of these microorganisms are carried by the insects and animals. Insects and animals. The animals or the insects which carry these diseases are called vectors. What are those? Vectors. The insects or animals which carry this disease-causing microorganism. For example, I will explain. The best example is the microorganism Plasmodium. The microorganism Plasmodium which causes malaria. This causes malaria fever is spread or carried by a female Anopheles mosquito. Female Anopheles mosquito. Okay, Plasmodium, a microorganism which causes malaria, is carried by a female Anopheles mosquito. So the Anopheles mosquito is the vector for this malaria disease, Plasmodium. You understand that? Malaria is not a simple disease. It is a severe fever. Sometimes it takes the life. So we all are heard, or we can see that the mosquitoes are breeding in the stagnant water especially in the rainy season. Okay, in this stagnant water, the mosquitoes are preferred to breed in this water. So by eradicating the stagnant water or remove the stagnant water from our surroundings, from the pits, ponds, pits, ditches, tides, waste pots, flower pots. From these, if we remove that, we can remove the spreading of malaria. And also by using the mosquito repellents or the mosquito nets. Do you understand? Female Anopheles mosquito. That is the vector for the Plasmodium. Okay. So how can we prevent the spreading of malaria? By using mosquito repellents or mosquito nets and prevent the growth of breeding of laying mosquitoes. Okay? Next, up to now we discussed here 3 points important pathogens. The disease causing microorganisms are called pathogens. The insects or animals which carry these diseases are called vectors. And the vaccine. We discussed about this. Now, another thing is, another example is flies, house flies. The house flies generally spread a disease called typhoid and cholera. Okay, typhoid and cholera. So, the fly is the vector for these two diseases, typhoid and cholera. The flies generally sits on the garbage and the excreta of the affected people. When the flies sit on the garbage or the excretory materials, the pathogen sticks to their legs, and whenever the flies sits on the open food materials or the eating materials, they release that pathogens on that food material. By consuming that food or drinking of that particular water, it causes typhoid and cholera to the human beings. Okay, so the flies also dangerous to us. Because of that, we always prefer to eat the food which is covered. Avoid the taking of food uncovered. Do you understand this? Okay. Now, another important thing, poisoning of food. Food poisoning. Generally, sometimes we have the news the people are hospitalized. The people are hospitalized due to the food poisoning. So what causes the food poisoning? So by taking of the stale food, okay, by eating of the stale food causes vomitings. Sometimes it may turns more poisonous. That is food poisoning. We have already discussed that the microorganisms are present everywhere, in the air, in the water, in the soil, on the hands, on our body, everywhere they are present. So when these food materials which are uncovered, the microorganisms fall on it. Okay, a bacteria named Clostridium botulinum. Clostridium botulinum. A bacteria named Clostridium botulinum is responsible for the food poisoning. Okay, now when we eat that stale food, it causes vomitings, motions, and sometimes leads to death. So this is known as botulism. What is that? Botulism. The food is spoiled by or poisoned by a Clostridium botulinum bacteria. It is known as botulism. So the microorganisms not only affect the humans but also other organisms, animals also. The anthrax. Okay, now foot and mouth diseases, anthrax, foot and mouth diseases, Balakoteswararao. Okay, and viral diseases in the France, aquaculture, and pests attacking to the plants and crops. So it causes damage to all organisms. At the same time, we have the uses. At the same time, we have the Bacillus thuringiensis. Bacillus thuringiensis bacterium. So these are genetically modified seeds. Okay, now they have the BT cotton mills. Okay, now the seeds are genetically modified and they are washed with the chemicals and injected by the bacterium Bacillus thuringiensis. Okay, now which have the ability to resist the attacking of pests in the plants and crops. Because of that, the scientists suggested this type of BT seeds. And another type of avoiding the disease causing organisms. Our mother also, before the drinking of milk, she lightly heated the milk. So she heat the milk and prepare and give to us for drinking. What is the purpose of heating materials? The purpose of heating the milk or the other materials is to kill the disease causing microorganisms in the materials like milk. So we all know very well. Have you ever seen that on the milk packets they have written pasteurization. What is that? Pasteurization. So Louis Pasteur, a scientist, discovered this pasteurization process. We can see this process, this name on the milk package, pasteurized milk. In this process, the milk is heated up to the 70 degrees Celsius for 15 to 30 seconds and immediately chilled, immediately cooled. Okay, so in this way, they can kill the microorganisms that are present in the milk. Okay, so that is pasteurization. This is the Louis Pasteur. Okay, who discovered the pasteurization? In this process, the milk is heated up to 70 degrees Celsius for 15 to 30 seconds and immediately chilled it, cooled it. Okay, this process prevents the growth of the microorganisms by killing it. Okay, so Louis Pasteur, okay, now he was a France. He was a Frenchman. He lived in a village in the France. On those days, he was very interested to become a teacher. So when he worked on the crystals, he has the grip on the different subjects, physics, chemistry and mathematics. So he want to become a scientist. On those days, the wine industry in the France, we have already discussed that fermentation is the process used in the making of wine industry. So the wine industry of France is in trouble. All the members approached the Louis Pasteur for his advice. Pasteur hypothesized that the microorganisms which present in the wine, it causes the damaging of the wine or spoiling of wine. So he suggests the method pasteurization to them. So by the pasteurization process, the wine contains different types of microorganisms, all are killed. So the wine is freshly stocked for long time. So in this way, the pasteurization process leads to the preventing of spoiling of different types of materials. In silk industry also, he saved silk industry. Okay, so these are the benefits that we get from the pasteurization. Up to here we discussed. And another thing is, have you ever observed that leguminous plants? Leguminous plants like peas and beans. Okay, these plants have root nodules. What are those? Root nodules like kanpul lanti nirmanalu. Root nodules which present on the roots. Because root nodules which present on the roots, here rhizobium bacteria will be appears to us. Rhizobia. What is the purpose of the rhizobia bacteria? Plants need nitrogen for their growth and development and enlarging of fruits, growth of the fruits, everything. 78% of nitrogen is in the air. So plants cannot take this nitrogen directly from the atmosphere. Okay, so these rhizobium plants like peas and beans develops these root nodules and they release attractants into its surfaces. So they attract the rhizobium bacteria. So the rhizobium bacteria which entered into this, they respire the nitrogen and gives it to the plant. Okay, in the reverse, the plants give shelter and food to this rhizobium. So in this way, they both live in a symbiotic relation. Symbiotic relation. Okay, so dear students, up to now we discussed that the plants also affected by the pests and they get the uses from the microorganisms. We understand that? Up to now we discussed different types of microorganisms and their uses and harms and different types of diseases caused by them, communicable diseases, okay, pasteurization, symbiotic relation, everything we have discussed up to now, okay. So, okay, thank you very much.